In this lesson, we'll be using different properties of equality to solve equations. The first set of examples will be the subtraction property of equality. In the first problem, I have x plus 1/3 equals 4/3. Remember, to solve for x, I want to isolate it, meaning I want x on one side of the equal sign and everything else on the other side. Because I'm adding a number or a fraction, I'm going to subtract this amount from both sides. Doing that will eliminate 1/3 on the left-hand side and bring it over to the right side. It's going to look like this. X plus 1/3 minus 1/3 equals 4/3 minus 1/3. Remember that when you're subtracting the amount from one side, you have to do the same operation with the same amount on the other side. Otherwise, you're changing the equation. Notice that a positive 1/3 will cancel out a negative 1/3. Or if you have 1 and you take away 1, you have 0. So now we can simplify. X equals 4/3 minus 1/3. Because our denominators are the same, we can subtract and we get x equals 3/3. Or you can convert that to 1. It's always a good idea to plug in your answer into the original equation to make sure that you did the math correctly. If I plug in 3/3 and I add 1/3, I will in fact get 4/3. Let's look at another problem. The second problem has two fractions with uncommon denominators. P plus 9/10 equals 2/5. Again, I want to isolate P, and since I'm adding P plus a number, I'm going to do the inverse operation, which is subtract. I want to subtract 9/10 from both sides. It's now going to look like this. P plus 9/10 minus 9/10 equals 2/5 minus 9/10. Notice that I'm subtracting from both sides. These two will cancel. I'm left with P equals 2/5 minus 9/10. Before I can subtract, I need to make sure that this denominator is the same as that one. Because 5 goes into 10, I'm just going to change this denominator to 4/10. I'm doing that by multiplying each term by 2. I now have P equals 4/10 minus 9/10. Might be easier to change this to an addition problem. 4/10 plus the opposite of a positive 9/10, so that's going to give me a negative 9/10. And like with integers, if I have a positive and a negative being added together, I'm really subtracting. And then the answer will take the sign of the larger number. So in this case, because 9 is larger than 4, I know my answer will be a negative. And 9 take away 4 is 5. So we have negative 5/10. Now I can simplify that to negative 1/2. Before I do that, however, I'm going to plug in -5/10 into the original equation, just to make sure I did the math correctly. -5/10 plus 9/10. Again, I have a negative plus a positive. I'm going to subtract and I get 4/10. Now, because this is 4/10, and we want to know if that's equal to 2/5, it looks like I can reduce. If I divide both terms by 2, I will in fact get 2/5. So if you divide by 2, you get 2/5 is equivalent to 2/5. So P equals -1/2 is the value of P.